Let me see you try.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, happy National Day week, bro. It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building, bro. Just before we came online, you were asking me about the pink shirt, right, bro?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Red and white, so pink. Yeah,
I love it. I love the
the
theme. I love that you dressed up for the occasion here. I am wearing my boring grey color, but it's okay. How's everybody, by the way? It's good to see y'all on the chat as we do the live stream. If you're listening on the Spotify going, huh? What are you talking about? Hey, you still don't know me. We do a live stream every single Tuesday. That's when we record the podcast on 12 o'clock, YouTube.
Indeed. And of course, for those of you who are not watching from Singapore, it's Singapore's National Day tomorrow. So we got a holiday, bro. So today, like half day vibes,
Not bad, And I actually took leave today because I worked the entire weekend, bro.
Ooh, bro, I saw you were involved in some sort of like hosting for army or something like that.
So no. It was like the Heartland celebrations. You know, they did 5 different Heartland celebrations all around Singapore to promote, celebrate National Day with sports and that kind of thing, right? So I don't know if you saw in your area, but there were fireworks all around Singapore.
I believe on Sunday it was just like fireworks galore, man. Yeah.
It was crazy. So I was at Woodlands. Of all the places, they go and assign me to Woodlands, but it's okay. We had a lot of fun. The people there were crazy, and I hadn't done one of these like very like fun events in a while. I was always hosting a very like serious like army and MINDEF related events, right? So this one we got to let loose. The thing is though, I was like in the sun from like 1 p.m. all the way to 9 p.m. the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, right? So, bro, I am fried, bro. My brain is like mush right now.
Bro, I think we like almost same skin tone really.
Yeah, if I switch off my bright lights here, you can see I got quite tan lah.
Damn. Okay, how was the vibes? Like, is it like a community crowd? Like chill?
Absolutely, man. We had people from around the area come down. We have parents, we have kids, a lot of kids, and the kids. That's a beautiful thing about the innocence of childhood, bro. They don't care. Got music, they'll dance.
That's so sweet.
They don't feel paise. No, they'll just dance. And then we had like a DJ spinning at night. So it's like, wow, we are getting them ready for the Zouk Club. Is it? What's going on?
Bro, most important, bro, did you set the stone, bro? Did you set the stage? Did you start dancing first or not, bro? That's the question.
No, I didn't, but my co-host did. My co-host is from MDC and she's a dancer. So she was like, come, I show you all. And she starts dancing and everyone starts dancing. So it was fantastic. If you were down at Woodlands, thank you so much for making it such a fun time. Like I said, I'm exhausted, but it was a fun sort of exhaustion. But now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling every bit of 43 years old, bro.
Bro, it's like a work job, but like it's like a fun day at work kind of vibe, right? Yeah. It's okay.
What about yourself, man? Oh, by the way, the fireworks went on for so long. It was one of those like, is it National Day today? What's going on? Like, I'm like, bro, their budget for fireworks was mad. And I was just at Woodlands. They did at Tampines, Toa Payoh, Bedok, and Jurong West as well.
Bro, where they getting? Is this all the GST money? Is that why they giving us back GST money? It's like, we collect a lot this year lah.
Maybe it's
fireworks
leftover from COVID. That time COVID cannot, do too many celebrations. So now they bring out all the fireworks, right? It was insane. And it's not even National Day. National Day is tomorrow.
Bro, I can't imagine tomorrow what's going to happen. But I think Oppenheimer lah tomorrow.
Wait, Troy! Wow, hey. Troy.
No. I mean, it's a beautiful explosion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure. But it's good to see everybody, by the way. How was your weekend? And how was, more importantly, SummerSlam for you? Let us know. Okay, we want to know your number grading, letter grading. Upon 10, upon 5, let us know. Because it was, shall I say...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's set some context first lah. I mean, going into the weekend, I think a lot of wrestling fans were really excited because so much was happening, right? We didn't just have SummerSlam. We had AEW Collision happening head to head. We also
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You say it like it's on the same level, but I'm sorry. But there is a real sort of point to be made here. I'm not being a dick for the sake of being a dick, even though I usually am, towards AEW. Wait. Tony Khan, don't shut down the stream yet. Please, listen.
Bro. Yes, listen. Early on in the stream, please.
Don't say too much. But I think that it does highlight a very big point, and we will get to that in just a little while. But
but bro, can I just set some context, because this is something that I forgot to tell you, and I think I should bring it up on the chat as well, right?
Go for it.
So on the morning of SummerSlam, for those of you who are on our Discord, shout out to you guys. The Discord was hot, it was popping. People were like excited, and of course, while I was like reacting and talking to our listeners as well, I was posting stuff on social media, like content, right, throughout SummerSlam, and also keeping an eye on AEW stuff. Get this, bro. So I shared some AEW related content, right? Guess who was looking and viewing our stories, bro?
Oh, was it Tony AEW Tony Khan?
Very close, bro. Almost, bro. The one that I reshared a piece of content from the AEW on TV Instagram page.
Yeah.
Bro, they viewed our story, bro. That is like the AEW's official Instagram content page, bro.
Okay, to be fair, they probably just check out everybody who is reposting their stuff or tagging them. Bro, don't like this lah, bro.
No.
Don't overthink it, bro.
No, think about it. This is actually a sign, you know why?
What?
Because, right, for them to even bother to look at my stories, right, means, right, really nobody is sharing their stuff that morning.
That's your point. Right, okay.
That's my point, yeah.
So, what you're saying is the amount of buzz they generated was so small that even us, a small, humble podcast from Singapore, they also must go and look and see, somebody's sharing our shit.
Yeah, oh my God, there's suddenly some content being shared on the other side of the world. Thank God, but probably like 10 of them only. Yeah, so it's probably that's the situation.
Well, okay, and I guess that's a good jumping point as we jump into today's review, right? Oh, very quickly, Discord, you mentioned the Discord, right? Discord link is in the description. If you haven't already followed us on Discord, join us in the community. Please come and join us. You'll meet your fellow wrestling fans and friends and fam and just talk wrestling to your heart's content. There's even like conversations outside of wrestling that you can get up to in our Discord channel. We love the community there, so please come and join the community. And of course, we also have a Patreon page if you want to take your support for the podcast to the next level. If you can, only if you can, go ahead and pledge an amount that's comfortable to you lah.
Yes, indeed. And of course, shout out to our Patreon sponsors there. You can see there on the ticker below. Those are the ones keeping the lights on for the podcast and keeping it going. And I've been putting up some content. I think post SummerSlam, we got polls, we got articles that's being shared. So please check it out if you're a wrestling fan as well.
Absolutely. Okay, let's jump into this weekend as well. Collision going head to head with SummerSlam, and there you go. Doesn't that say everything already? You shared with me some numbers. Do you want to lead off with that?
Oh yeah, we should. Okay, this is scary because it's gonna happen on a regular basis, right? Yeah. So far, right, in AEW's Collision's existence, they've only gone head to head like for two things. I believe SummerSlam was one of them, but I remember there was another show that they went head to head with. I can't remember who is or what.
Was it NXT?
I think it's either NXT or like a big sporting event.
Right.
Because I remember there was one that there was a hit, right? They got hit by I don't know whether it's Money in the Bank, but somebody confirmed with me.
I think there are three events. One like two WWE PLEs and one NXT. So they've gone head to head against WWE several times with Collision already, and it's not good. It's not good.
They've always taken a hit, and it's expected because, of course, there's gonna be a cross-pollination of WWE fans and AEW fans as well, right?
UFC as well, by the way, don't forget.
Correct. So, based on WrestleNomics, Brandon Thurston, I've kind of taken a look at the ratings. So there have been ratings announced for Collision, and bro, like that just shows that people are watching AEW fans, like the core audience is just a core audience, but a majority of it are WWE fans, and if they are put with a choice between a WWE PLE and a AEW show, they're gonna choose WWE all day long, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And here's the thing too, like you're talking about a SummerSlam that is jam-packed with mega stars, celebrity, just the biggest main eventers. Look, I know you're a big CM Punk fan, I am as well. We both love Ricky Starks. We see him as an up-and-comer. But let's face it, you look at that match, and you look at any other match except for Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
We'll talk about that for sure, yeah.
I can't help but feel like that match, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks, is a TV level match. It's a TV quality match. It's not a main event of a pay-per-view match, and that's why it could never draw the eyeballs that the other matches were going to. Even I would rather watch Logan Paul Ricochet. I would rather watch the three women's championship match. You know,
Yeah.
everything,
For sure.
everything except for the one I just mentioned, Shayna Ronda one.
Yeah, so like okay, last week, right, they had like the huge tag team match, right? The blockbuster tag team match, FTR versus Adam Cole and MJF.
Yep.
And it was actually one of the biggest rating that they had other than their debut, which was 737,000, something along those lines. That
Sure.
was like the rating last week. So okay, they were on an upward trajectory in the weeks leading up to that.
Yeah.
But this past weekend's Collision was 300,000. It's around 300,000 as well. So it's more than half of their viewers didn't show up for this Collision.
Like you said, I mean, you know, more than half didn't show up because those people were watching WWE SummerSlam, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost as if like why they do on Saturdays knowing that this is gonna happen? Is it really like there's David Zaslav's way of like, you know what, we just want Saturday wrestling and just put it on there regardless of what's gonna happen?
Sure. Didn't CM Punk come out and say like, look, we are just competing against ourselves. We are not trying to compete with the WWE. I mean, it sounds like a PR statement, like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, right? But yeah, they're absolutely getting smashed in that regard, going up against a PLE, an actual event.
But again, if they're gonna go along with that line of statement, if they're gonna go against their own self, which is Dynamite, right? 700K for a new show less than 2 months in, they're almost reaching Dynamite levels of rating. So what does that say about it? Like, are you saying that a lot of the AEW fans are watching Collision and Dynamite, or are they losing viewers or gaining viewers or new viewers on Collision? What does it say?
I feel like they are getting new viewers, but they are WWE viewers, and ultimately you go up against the WWE product, they will go and watch the WWE one first, you know? And this doesn't take into account replays and stuff like that. I'm sure people are going to go back and watch the replay after they got their fill of SummerSlam, you know? After they got their fill, then they come back and watch the fill.
I see.
You see what I did there? Anyway, but just to come back to it, right? Like, nothing about CM Punk versus Ricky Starks felt like a main event of a pay-per-view. It felt like a TV, like, you know, like once in a while you would see like The Rock versus Hardcore Holly sort of match. I'm not meaning to compare Hardcore Holly to Ricky Starks, but didn't it feel like that?
I think it's too new in Ricky Stark's main event run, especially after he's been treated for so long. I wonder, right, bro, if they had made that main event match between FTR, Adam Cole, and MJF on this past weekend's Collision, how would the numbers have done? You know what I mean?
Right. That's a good point. But you know what? I think that would have done a disservice to those guys because they put on a hell of a match, but not a lot of people would have seen it. And I mean, to be fair too, like a lot of people were saying that the Ricky Starks CM Punk match was a good match, but I didn't see it because, well, I just didn't have time to see it. At the end of the day, you have to realize too, right? There's only so many hours in a day, so much attention you can catch. And, well, all of it went to the WWE.
Yeah, for sure. So, I think putting on bow on AEW Collision, it was a great show. Nothing wrong with it.
Did you watch the match itself? How was the match?
Yeah, I did. Again, Ricky Starks, they are definitely positioning him as a heel going out of the match because he came in like a likable babyface or like an arrogant babyface. But by the end of the match, he was attacking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who was on ringside as a ref. Bro, he don't give chance, bro. Ricky is almost 70 years old. He goes take his belt and go whip him, bro.
I saw the clips. It was vicious. So CM Punk is obviously the like all out babyface in this one lah.
Yeah. And I also wanted to mention that JR was on commentary for this match.
How was he?
JR sounds refreshed. I think he had like a health scare previously. I remember his sore throat was damn rubber on the debut episode. Yeah. But he actually called this match really, really well. I actually enjoyed the call as well. And I think because of the respect Ian Riccoboni and Nigel McGuinness has for JR, it felt like a very professional thing. So again, things that work for Collision work. It's just more of like they need time to kind of like establish themselves on Saturday nights, and they can't beat WWE. I think they accept that as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it is a shame. It is a shame that they can't be on Dynamite instead. You put the, trampoline cowboys on the Saturday, let them have their alternative, while the actual show that, retains viewers goes on a primetime show. It's a shame. But, hey, you never know. Maybe in a year's time, maybe 2 years' time, things will change.
Yeah. Speaking of the trampoline cowboys, I think we need to get this out of the way. FTR after their match against Big Bill and Brian Cage, right?
Cage,
announced that they are gunning for Young Bucks, FTR Young Bucks 3 at All Out All In Wembley.
All
right?
in at Wembley. Yeah. So okay, here's the thing, right? Like, why are they gunning for the Bucks? Shouldn't the Bucks be gunning for them? Did the Bucks throw down the gauntlet first?
I believe on last week's Dynamite, which I know you didn't watch, but
no.
I think they announced themselves that they're going to be back in the tag team division.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, so apparently they were out for a while. I didn't know there's such a thing, but yeah, so they want to go back for the tag team title. So maybe that's their lead into it. I'm not sure.
So it's like too little, too late as far as we're concerned, and we know that FTR have had banger matches with way better tag teams. Mm-hmm. It's proven already. I don't give two hoots about this match. I think only the most die-hard Young Bucks fans would give a crap about this. Like, only those who are drinking their Kool-Aid will be like, oh my god, this is it. This is where they finally, give FTR the rub. No. Okay, whatever, right?
I believe they were supposed to have the rub that third match last year's All Out, remember? And then they decided to go after the Trios division. So I agree. I think it's a bit 1 year too late.
Yep.
But going into the news,
what if this is where the Young Bucks win the titles back? Oh my god. What if, bro? I mean, it could happen.
Bro, to be fair, there's a reason why they re-signed. Remember, there was the news that came out that Elite had re-signed on multi-year deals and extended their contracts.
Maybe.
Was this one of the things they were like, oh, you know what? We want to re-sign. Let us win back the titles. Let's establish ourselves again.
Bro, and then you see FTR, they have their own championship, the real tag team championship belts. Wow.
Bro, just separate the roster and just create separate titles. I don't know. Okay, let's be very objective. Like, the Elite staying in AEW, is it good for AEW? Is it good for the Elite? Is this the right decision? What's your thoughts?
It's good for themselves, obviously. Multi-year, big money deal. Of course, they're going to sign it, right? Is it good for the company? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think it's only good if Tony Khan steps up and stops treating them like his best friends and starts being a proper booker. But we all know that's not going to happen. Right? He's still going to let them run wild, do whatever nonsense they want to do. So they'll always be there. They're never going to be relevant in that, oh my god, Young Bucks are on, I need to watch. They are never going to have that draw. Meanwhile, people like your MJFs, your CM Punks, they are the ones actually drawing, but, for whatever reason, they get put on the show that nobody watches.
Yeah. So that's I was thinking about this, right? Like how they talk in their quotes, right? They had so many quotes after they resigned, talking about how the Elite is like the DNA of AEW. You as much as AEW is going to expand and evolve, they should be still play like a pivotal role in them. I'm just thinking there is some truth in the sense that when people first watched AEW, they were the one that drove the interest. People were watching for them. Yeah. But does that statement still stand today? Should they still be a relevant part? Should people still acknowledge them as like the founding fathers of AEW?
I mean, they can be acknowledged. They don't have to be, cast out completely. But let's not forget, Cody was part of that DNA as well. Cody, who had the actual wrestling mind out of all of them. Listen to me speak praise about Cody Rhodes when, just a few years ago, we were like, what the hell is this guy doing here? But, Cody is part of that as well, right? And I do believe they did mention Cody, but not to a long, big extent, because they did their 200th show anniversary hoo-ha bullshit nonsense, right?
Yeah, and they acknowledge him as well to a certain extent.
Yeah, but I think it is to their detriment that they hold on to this mindset of, the Elite are part of the DNA and therefore we will keep them on forever. Sometimes you outgrow people. It's like a relationship, right? Think back to your earliest relationships. You think at the time, this is what made me a man. But then you realize as you grow, you move on, this is not what I need in life. And honestly, they don't need the Elite. You take away the Young Bucks, what are you missing? Not much. Kenny, maybe. Kenny, okay, yes. Definitely keep. I've been quite high on Kenny for the longest time already. I'm like, if they just made him not do the stupid shit that the Young Bucks like to do. So just get rid of the Young Bucks. They are the problem.
Bro, I was so interested when I saw the report that actually WWE really wanted to make him their top signing if his contract was up, and wanted to position him as a top guy alongside like Cody, Roman, and all that kind of stuff. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think Kenny Omega in a WWE environment would have offered? You know, the company.
He would offer a lot of incredible moments. I think he would be frustrated though. Like you know what I mean? He is that personality type that maybe wouldn't fit, and or actually, you know, this is all what if, we never know, right? Maybe he will go in there and then he will accept and he will learn, and then he might be one of the best performers because he can tell a story instead of just doing crazy moves over and over, and his career might actually be longer because he wouldn't have to do all these crazy damn things.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of weird booking, bro, where's Ibushi, bro? Where's Kota Ibushi? What's the story going out of Blood and Guts? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Has he even shown up?
No, nothing since Blood and Guts. So one and done. I do not know.
That's the problem with All Friends Wrestling. You can't just have people come in once a week and then disappear for a month because, hey, my friend want to wrestle this week. Can let him. You know, this is an indie mindset. And
it's an independent mindset. Yes. Whoever's free, whoever's available.
And it's fine for indie level shows, but not for a TV show where you're supposed to drive a narrative week upon week upon week. People will forget. People will not know. You know, you have to tell these stories. And I think to this point, Tony Khan doesn't realize that or doesn't understand, or he's just letting his friends do whatever they want to do lah.
Bro, is that what it is? Is that have you discovered the crux of the issue? Yeah. Because like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, they came from the indie mindset and environment, right?
Yeah,
they are good with creating like one-off moments, like building hype for one event to another event, but they can't do episodic narrative storytelling.
No, CM Punk is trying to do it on Collision, but they are handicapped, hamstrung by their timing and having to go up against actual pay-per-views and PLEs, right? Whereas on the other side, like you just said, the Young Bucks, the Elite, that mindset is very, very indie. And we've said this all the way back to like the first few months of AEW, where they were doing flippy shit every single episode. It's like, you cannot keep this up.
Yeah, you can't keep this up as well. But again, so I think before we move on to WWE SummerSlam, 200 episodes of Dynamite is still a milestone,
Yeah, sure.
I think at the end of the show, Tony Khan got some like standing ovation from his peers. I think they had MJF come out, they have Chris Jericho come out, blah blah blah. Okay, like going into this 4 years in, right, bro? Like, how do you feel about AEW's position in pro wrestling as a whole? Do you feel that they have had some positive impact, they have created the alternative, or do you feel like it's gotten worse? What's your general thoughts?
They were riding on a high for a while. The first injection of CM Punk, right? That was huge. That CM Punk MJF era. So they've had high spots. Don't get me wrong. Bryan Danielson, stuff like that, right? But I think they've had more wasted opportunities than they've had capitalized opportunities. I think it is a story of not striking while the iron is hot. Like we talked about, there's so many moments where Ricky Starks could be the next breakout. Hobbs could have been the next breakout. Wardlow, what is Wardlow even doing?
Yeah,
right
Wardlow
now
was such a wasted,
And all these guys, it's like those moments you can't get back.
I agree. Yeah, they didn't strike while the iron was hot on a lot of things, a lot of wasted opportunity. Bro, I think the cursor is on my face.
Okay.
Anyway.
Really? There's a cursor on Foreign's face.
Okay. So you're right? I feel like as important as they are, and I think their position as a second alternative to WWE, I think it's important to have them there. It creates at least some sort of options for viewers, options for wrestlers. And once in a while, we've gone back and forth on this, right? Every time like WWE started getting stale or something boring happened, there's always something AEW related we can talk about.
Yes.
It's good for the industry as a whole, but
for sure, it's good to keep the WWE on its toes so they don't start resting on their laurels. And then, of course, if you take away the option of a second major promotion, right, then they might treat their staff poorer. Talking about the WWE, right? They'll just let people go. So now they'll be a little bit more like, okay, we better keep these guys in case they go to AEW. So it's a good thing. So don't get me wrong. Like, there's definitely a place for number 2 here. But
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, it's not a close number 2 at this point. Not yet.
Agreed. Or there was an opportunity, or there was some groundswell of support where it could have been a big number 2.
Yeah,
but it kind of fallen away a bit. What about the point that they put it out there, the narrative that AEW has created stars, at least some of them. Not all could have reached the potential, but some have become the stars of today. What's your thoughts on that? Like MJF and all?
There's only one name, MJF. And I would argue that MJF is not on the level of even a Drew or definitely not on the level of Roman. But even
in terms of stardom.
Even Ricochet is a bigger star than MJF at this point, if you ask me. Because WWE just know how to make these collaborations happen and make things work for them, right? Whereas, AEW tried the celebrity route. They had Shaq. Remember Shaq went on there with Jade Cargill for 1 or 2 episodes and then don't know what happened. It all fell apart. Snoop Dogg was there. And it was all sort of just one-off, like, okay, wow, celebrities here, but then, meh. Whereas WWE they've mastered the art almost of the celebrity cameo.
Yeah. You're right in a way. I feel MJF is the only star, not a crossover star yet, only star. But I feel like that might change because you've seen some rumblings that he's involved in that Kevin Von Erich's movie with Zac Efron.
To be fair, right? It's still a very niche movie. Like, I would grant you that, yes, he would become a more mainstream star if he were in, like, an Avengers movie or some, like Barbie movie playing a major role. But he's sort of in a wrestling-related movie, and that narrows your scope down to wrestling fans. Unless this movie can be one of those that transcends, like Drive to Survive on Netflix, like there's the F1 show that everyone, like even non-fans are watching, right?
Yeah, or the wrestler like with Mickey Rourke, like that kind of level of...
Even that show is sort of like maybe kind of, because that one won a lot of
awards,
Oscars. They did get nominated for Oscars, but I don't think a lot of people watched it.
Yeah, you're right lah. I feel like in terms of crossover stars, they actually have the potential to have crossover stars. Like Jade Cargill could have been a crossover star.
Jade Cargill, what happened to her? She like dropped the title and then she's like, screw it, I don't want to play already.
I think that's it. That's what it is, right? She won a title, she dropped it, she went on a break. She's like, you know what? I enjoy my life during my breakdown time. I don't want to go back to the AEW, right?
Didn't she go on about like how nobody knew about this title until me? She I don't know if she was trying to play up her character or what, but apparently, she's not coming back.
Bro, her shit start to smell good in her own. She start to believe her own hype lah. Maybe that's the issue.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like so, even like Darby Allin, could have reached the heights that we thought he could have, but somehow handicapped by the booking. Right?
And everybody else that is a quote unquote star there was a star before from the WWE. Talk about CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, even Adam Cole. I wouldn't even say he's a star there.
Bro, John Moxley was a star, but I think he just became worse.
No, because he let his true colors shine, and now we know why all this time in the WWE they didn't let him do what he wanted to do, because this is what he wants to do.
No wonder Brock Lesnar said, "No, I ain't gonna do your crazy shit." Remember that one time in WrestleMania?
Who knows? Maybe he was like, "Okay, Brock, how about we drop you in a bed of nails? Yeah, that'll be hardcore." I'm like, no, man. Brock's like, what's wrong with you?
I ain't gonna do that shit. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you know who I am? God damn.
No, that meme that Brock Lesnar did or Mustafa Ali, like, get alive, kid.
Get alive. I think, that's exactly what he would have said. So now the picture is so much clearer, right? And Jericho, I guess, is the other one. He did bring mainstream attention, like wrestling fans, but now to see him is kind of embarrassing.
It is. I don't think he's done anything relevant since JAS probably. So it's tough. It's really become the place where people come to retire. CM Punk is the only one. FTR is the only one trying to drag out some sense of like must-see television there. We shall see. Let's hope. My hope for like the immediate future of AEW, right? Because they're going into All In, and unfortunately we won't be able to preview All In, but we will review All In because once I'm back from my reservice, right?
Yeah.
I hope the next generation of stars that will come up will be the likes of Bullet Club Gold. I feel,
Okay. Look, just very quickly looking at the All In card, you have a main event that is MJF versus Adam Cole. And I didn't watch Dynamite. Tell me how they set that up. Was it a mutual, okay, I respect you, now I'm going to give you a shot at the title? Because I know Adam, what's his face? MJF had actually said, yes, I'm going to give you a title shot because you deserve it, or something like, because he's all like buddy, good friends now.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, MJF just cut a full-on babyface promo talking about how he got attention deficit disorder, how he got bullied as a kid, blah, blah, blah. He suddenly became super babyface, and I think it's more along the lines of saying that I became a devil, I became a scumbag because that's how I need to survive, probably. And he said that, I might be the devil, I might be a scumbag, but at least I'm your scumbag. So he pandered to the crowd, right? Then Adam Cole come out, hug, bestie vibes, and then he said, you know what, we didn't win the tag team title, but I feel that now you deserve the shot on the biggest stage of them all for the world titles. It's both of them. So it's basically like coming into like a baby face vibe. But the best part about the whole segment, right, was suddenly the camera cut to backstage, and then Roderick Strong act like a jilted lover, bro. Roderick Strong was like, throw a tantrum. Like, no. So that was actually the funniest part about the whole segment.
Okay, so okay, this setup, right? And I mean, we can kind of see that MJF is setting up Adam Cole for like a heel turn. Does it feel like that at all?
It's almost as if it's Adam Cole that's turning heel as opposed to MJF.
Okay, because I have zero hype or interest for this match whatsoever. Like, I did watch the tag team match together, and just I don't know lah, because MJF has been such a solid heel for so long, right? It's very hard for me to buy that all of a sudden he's this reformed nice guy who's like broing out with Adam Cole, stuff like that. It's hard for me to get along, get on that train of thought. So I'm like, if and when MJF turns on Adam Cole will look like the biggest dumbass for going along with this shit all along. Whereas if Adam Cole is the one who turned, it's like, okay, but you're going to make MJF your top babyface?
Yeah, correct. So I do not know where AEW is going to go with this. That creates intrigue, right?
Sure,
nothing wrong with that. People want to see what happens. But it's almost as if, there's no other choice. Adam Cole needs to turn heel to kind of salvage himself. But MJF turning heel again, like a double turn heel, wouldn't...
It would be like... Huh? Like, you didn't see this coming. He's the devil. He literally calls himself the devil. You are a dumbass, Adam Cole, And I'm sorry. I love Adam Cole as a performer. He was great in NXT. He's not a main event guy. He's not a main event headline WrestleMania or whatever All In is supposed to be a big stadium show, right? He's not a main guy. Like, it doesn't make sense. I would rather see CM Punk there,
I would argue that the reason he's here is really because of the storyline convenience of them. Like, okay, their storyline. But I also have to give, credit to them as well. Their segments are like the highest rated segments on both Dynamite and Collision.
Yeah. They're fun. They're funny segments, which is my other thing. Like, okay, they're fun. They're funny. But when it comes down to it, right, fun and funny is not going to sell a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, it's like Jericho and Kevin Owens. It was a great storyline, but it wasn't gonna headline WrestleMania.
No. It's a nice in between, or maybe opener. You get the fun out of the way. So I don't know. Maybe this match is gonna open the card at All In, which would be very weird because it's their main title.
Yeah. Well, you do know that there was a call out for the Real World Championship from Samoa Joe, right?
Yeah, sure. But do you really think the elites are going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, let CM Punk have the main event of their big all-in show? I don't think so, bro.
Yeah, I as much as I want to say no, probably that's true.
So to me, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe is a much more intriguing main event. The problem is they are also way over their, I don't say over the hill, but they are a lot older already. They can still go, veterans. But they are not going to be like, look at Roman right now. Like, he's at his peak.
Yeah, that is a prime, right?
Yeah, like he is like alpha prime level athlete right now in terms of athleticism, promo, everything is just hitting. Whereas CM Punk and Samoa Joe, promos on point. Athletically, on the decline.
Yeah. So they need people in their prime. And like that's why I think I went back to my point about in the next stage of AEW, I hope people like Jay White become a star. Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson,
Juice,
my
yes.
my favorite guy, low-key favorite guy in AEW.
Yeah.
And I hope Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is not his prime yet; he's entering into his prime. So I hope. Basically, I hope MJF's generation will be able to level up to his level.
There's only one way for that to happen, and is if that they stop listening to the elites and just do proper pro wrestling, episodic television, and storytelling.
Yeah, I hope so too as well. Well, that's a long preamble for AEW.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. We were like, all right, let's very quickly talk about AEW. 40 minutes later.
Dear God, there's always a lot to talk about. But yeah, SummerSlam, bro. I know that's what most of the listeners are here for. Our thoughts on WWE SummerSlam 2023.
Absolutely. Do you think that at this point, WWE or SummerSlam was a victim of too much hype, and then the actual product kind of fell short? I don't know about you, but this is exactly how I felt. I'll have to make it known, though, that I didn't watch it live because I was very busy over the weekend, like I said, right? So I only watched the main event live. Then I went back the next day to watch the rest. So literally yesterday, I watched the rest of the card.
You do have a great point. I think overall thoughts, we can start first with that. I felt like WWE had a great run of pay-per-views, and I think this was their first stumble.
I don't know if stumble is the right word. I feel like stumble might be a bit too harsh. I feel like it's a combination of the expectations were too high already, and they just maybe didn't deliver on that because we had, as fans, we tend to overhype it in our minds, right? But
were we unrealistic in our expectations, though? That's the question.
That's the thing. I don't think we were unrealistic. I think we expect WWE to bring the spectacle, and for whatever reason, it kind of wasn't there. And this is not a knock on the performers themselves. Well, some of it will be lah, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's go into the actual matches itself. And we kicked off, interestingly enough, with Logan Paul versus Ricochet. I was like, wow, okay, they're starting with this. And it's more surprising considering that the next match is actually a major match that got the toilet break slot. I'm like, what? Okay.
It's very interesting, but again, it wasn't unexpected. We already said that Logan Paul has publicly stated that he wants to finish the match early and hop on a jet and go to watch Nate Diaz and Jake Paul, right?
Yeah.
But my interest in this match was more on the fact of they keep kind of promoting and hyping it. It's like it's gonna be the most viral moment. They're gonna do crazy shit. And can I just say something very, very unexpected?
What?
They actually didn't do anything viral, but they had a solid, highly athletic, high-flying contest within the WWE limits and boundaries that makes sense. It wasn't crazy flippy shit. It was highly athletic, but it's good.
You're saying that because we do watch AEW. We do know that on the other side they are doing quote unquote ridiculous things, and you think that stuff should be viral. When logically what they did was quite viral already. If you are not a wrestling fan, you know what I mean? It's only because the Bucks and that group went and overdid it already to a point where nothing is special anymore, right? Triple flips, blah, blah, blah. But if you consider the stuff that they tried to do, like the Spanish fly off the apron, then I don't know if they botched it or if they meant to do it. It almost felt like they meant to do it. You know when they did the Spanish fly and they landed on their feet instead of flat from the apron to the ground.
I think that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to land on their feet and continue fighting. It's just that it didn't look clean or smooth as what they wanted.
But it's wrestling, it's fighting. It should look a bit like, whoa. It cannot look. If it looks too clean, then it's like AEW, where everything is like, oh, look at him flip perfectly on that guy, and it looks like they didn't even touch it at all. It was just like, ooh, like a brush. No, this look sort of like, oh shit, it looked like a real fight, and real fight with aerial acrobatics, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's talk about things that I love, about the moveset that happened on the match. Big fan of the buckshot. The buckshot outside. I think that was really cool. I love the little thing that there was this damn dope maneuver that they did. It's like Logan Paul jumping, or catching him from the top rope, and then he kind of like reversed it into like a hanging DDT. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do. So Logan reversed Ricochet, and then Ricochet sold it. Like he does the hit spike sell very well. He stiffens up when his head goes down. Like you know when he's done the sell for the RKO. You know where people just drop to their face down. He freaking goes on top of his head, stiffens up like he kinda spike. Like Ricochet, like obviously Logan Paul smart, like he knew who to pick, right? Like Ricochet made everything Logan Paul did look 10 times better because it was against Ricochet. Against anybody else, it would have looked cool, but against Ricochet, it looked epic because Ricochet is like, freaking, landing on his head.
So I would argue they didn't have any like viral moment like, Logan Paul had against Seth Rollins or against Roman Reigns. But they had like a great series of impressive moves, right? And again, like you mentioned, Logan Paul's, I think, right, his role in this match, right, is almost as if to put over Ricochet as well, or give him a rub, give him a celebrity rub.
Yeah. While still getting back some of his heat, because if you think about it, Logan Paul has lost most of his recent matches because they've been against like the main event guys. Yeah, you can't have him beat the main event guys, but you can have him beat Ricochet while having Ricochet put on an amazing performance and selling for Logan Paul. I think both of them look great in this match. You raise Ricochet's like celebrity status. Ricochet makes Logan Paul look good. This was a perfect like combo.
Yeah, I love everything about this match, but to be honest, except the ending, except the brass knuckles, and what's that?
I love the way Ricochet sold the brass knuckles though.
Yeah, like, he did sell it well,
like
for sure.
Everything that Ricochet sells makes it look good. So like he like stiffens up and then like falls one time, like whoa, it looked legit. So I loved you didn't like the fact that he won dirty or what?
Yeah, I didn't like the fact he won dirty. I didn't like the fact that he was some random guy from his posse. Like nobody talk about who the hell is this guy at all.
It's okay lah. It can't always be KSI lah. KSI busy lah, bro.
I know it's not KSI, but that guy is not even somebody I know from YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, really, they never even highlighted him. Like, at least show his face after that.
He got no all his friends busy at his brother's Jake Paul's fight. Like, come on. You can't expect that. But sure, okay, maybe he could have pulled the brass knucks from his own pants. I don't know. Yeah, right.
That would have been better. I think that would have been more interesting.
Right, but the whole power of the punch thing, I love the way it was sold. He's a dastardly heel, so it works. Asio says he is Logan Paul's manager. Well, there you go. The commentators should have highlighted that. Maybe we missed it. But
no, they didn't highlight it. So again, if they had given more context on who he is, or at least show his face, or like people can like talk about it, like, oh, okay, then there's a story behind it. But you're right. Like, I like that they're trying to promote or market Logan Paul as this like boxer with a steel titanium in his fist that can take out a guy anytime. I think it's a great finishing move per se. And I think both guys came out looking good because, like you said, Logan Paul retained back his heat. Ricochet got a great rub, and if you saw what happened on Raw, he immediately went into the Intercontinental title picture, like challenge. Not that he's challenged Gunther, but he was involved in a fatal 4-way where the winner was gonna face Gunther. So he's back in his level or in mid card.
There you go. Honestly, I think that they didn't want to emphasize that was Logan Paul's manager because he's not part of the story. He's not a celebrity. It would make... I actually understand why they didn't actually emphasize it. Even as a throwaway line, because you know what? It takes away from Logan Paul's heat. It's like, all of a sudden you're focusing on this other guy. Whereas if it's a KSI is a celebrity as well, right? So it's like, oh my, isn't that KSI, blah, blah, blah. If it's like, oh, it's Logan Paul's manager, nobody knows who this guy is.
No, exactly, right? So if they didn't want to highlight someone else, then don't let someone else be involved in the story. Like he could have just walked in with a steel chain and do a John Cena when the referee not looking, take the chain, take the Pokemon card, bash him.
Sure.
It will still have been heat, but he did it on his own.
I think it's a minor point in a
it's a nitpick.
Yeah, it's a really good opener, and like I said, I guess we know why it was an opener because the next match though was like one of the main matches of the entire card, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was so funny because I was like, Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. I genuinely was surprised, and I'm pretty sure people in the audience were surprised because they really popped for the announcement.
Yeah, because it's the toilet break match. Everyone knows the second match is a toilet break match, but no, you can't go. You gotta hold your pee in. And here's the thing,
Tahan a bit more.
the funny thing with Cody and Brock, right? It's been this like, why are they even fighting? Sort of a vibe going into it. But then when I watched the video package, I was all in. Pardon the pun, but the video package got me. You know, WWE and their video packages are like next level, like top notch, right? And then played some old I don't know what you would call it, bluegrass rock music.
I get what you mean. It sounded like the freaking Wolverine Logan trailer. You know?
Yeah, like somebody's gonna freaking retire. Somebody is old and like
somebody said it was 21. It was 21 Pilots. You know,
21 Pilots. What was it? Yeah, folksy
vibe. You know,
I loved it, man. It brought me into the match, and look, I think this might. Do you think this was the best match of the night?
Oh, interesting that you put it that way.
Yeah, like I don't know. In terms of the wrestling and the storyline and the finish, even.
I would disagree with you slightly. Sure. I wouldn't say it's the best wrestling match. It was the best story told in the match.
Sure. I wouldn't say this is the best wrestling match. I would say it's the best combination of everything. Wrestling, storytelling, and sort of wrapping up a arc, as it were. Yeah. Like a satisfying conclusion.
I think it was a satisfying conclusion. I would even look past the fact that it was the second match on the card.
Yeah.
Because I felt like the story told in this match was great. And bro, can we just give flowers to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
How much of a beast he looks at for what, 46?
40. Bro, we are going. The second he decides to really retire and call it quits, we will miss him so much. We don't realize what a gem we have in the Beast. This guy who just literally anytime he shows up, main event, star power instantly, right?
Cody Rhodes said it best in the press conference. He said that he is a unicorn in this business. Like, there will never be another Brock Lesnar. Like, nobody can replicate how he looks, how he carries himself, his style.
And his natural athleticism, physicality. I mean, the ripped pants at the end was like, what is going on with what material you use for your pants? What cheap pants is this?
No, that was funny. But I think the thing that struck me was like, somebody in the Discord probably pointed it out. So like, hey, did he get bigger? He's like growing, bro.
Against all odds, this mofo is still getting bigger. Wow.
Yeah, I think he looked definitely much bigger than how he looked at last year's SummerSlam, because I was like, I think he looked bigger. Or maybe it's because he's put against Cody Rhodes, who's a slimmer guy, right?
Like, didn't Cody Rhodes say that, like, they might be the same height, but Brock is twice his width?
Yeah, like 2 times.
He's like,
whip,
boom.
Right?
They stand next to each other. Brock just looks wide AF. Zayden says, so the question is, why did Brock want to fight Cody again? What do you mean again? Are you talking about Raw? I didn't watch Raw yet.
No. He didn't mention it. But I think what he's trying to say is like, so why did Brock want to fight Cody? Like, what's the story? Reason behind it?
It's the third time. It's the third match, right? The rubber match, right? Because Cody won the first one, Brock won the second one. So you gotta have the rubber match.
Yeah, but why he even pick a fight with Cody in the first place? See,
that was the whole thing. That was the whole contention. Like, why are they even fighting? But the video package sold it for me. Like, okay, I mean, come on, let's watch. Let's go along for this ride. Forget about the motivation. I
think it's the best rivalry that didn't have a reason why the rivalry started ever.
Yeah. But this has happened so many times. You're like, why are these two even fighting? But then you forget after a while because the rivalry or the matches are so good, right?
Yeah. But again, I would argue that, even Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, it came out of nowhere, but Undertaker managed to draw so much history, right?
Yeah.
Triple H and Undertaker, they could have, they talk about it a bit in their promos. It's just that problem is Brock didn't verbalize his reason for fighting, and I thought after SummerSlam he would say, I did what I could, I'm going on a break now, but they showed it in the ring, because after the match he held up his hand, gave him the handshake, so I thought that was a powerful moment, right? Like passing over the torch almost.
CEO said they explained it on commentary. Did they? He was unhappy with his placement on the WrestleMania card. Brock opened the show facing Omos while Cody was main eventing. Did they?
That would have been something that Corey Graves would have come out on the spot to justify on the commentary basis, but I don't think they said it like themselves.
And it wasn't in the video package. It was never highlighted as such. So I think you're right. I think it is something that Corey, Corey's such a creative wordsmith anyway, a storyteller. He was probably smart enough to have come up with something like this. Oh, in April. They did that in April.
I mean, as you feel free to share it, put it on here or like share it in the Discord if you're in the Discord. Like, because you know me, bro. I'm a wrestling historian, bro. You know, I keep track of these kind of things, and I know from my viewing, they've never really explained the storyline. But nothing against it. I think as fans after the match when Cody survived the onslaught, beat him with the 3 crossroads, and they shake hands, right?
Yeah.
I felt that what this whole rivalry was for behind the scenes was for Brock to give that final main event rub.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the fact that Brock,
Cody.
Brock did it in such a graceful way, and this is why like Cody said, Brock is a unicorn, and he basically came back here just to push Cody to that next level, to get Cody ready for the next part of his story, which we'll see in the upcoming months. But I love it.
Yeah, very interesting because Cody got the rub from Brock. Brock doesn't give out the rubs to anyone easily, bro. Nope. Because you know why? He didn't put over Randy Orton. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
He didn't put over Chris Jericho. He never even bothered to face Chris Jericho. But Cody, he liked. Drew McIntyre, he liked. And these people he put over very willingly.
Who was... Okay, so Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt... So basically, the fellas with the weird ideas, he's like, don't waste my time.
Don't waste my time. Yeah. Anyone that went to AEW, he's like, nah, I don't talk to you.
Don't give me all this funny, like, whatever, like, wear a mask, switch off the lights, all this bullshit. No. Let's talk about us fighting, and that's all. And, he's a fighter. He's a very simple guy, right? And in a lot of ways, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think he's old school. He's like a 80s wrestler. If that shit doesn't make sense, he's a bit too chim for me. Don't waste my time.
Yeah. Like, if I can't understand it, F off. Don't other people won't understand. So, there you go. Then, let's move on to the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal, aka Consolation Prize for LA Knight.
Bro, my favorite thing. Snap into the Jim, Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. I can't do a Randy Savage. Yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
Did you watch? Okay, I know I'm jumping ahead, but did you watch the commercial that came right after the match?
Yeah, the one with LA Knight and Bianca Belair, right?
Yeah, and then it got a bit of the archive footage of Randy Savage.
That was so cool.
I think that was well done. Yeah, but I didn't need Bianca Belair to be honest, but that was well done.
Deep Royalty, it's good to see you. The Shadow, how are you, buddy? Thanks for dropping by the chat. Okay, so we're in the middle of actually we're at the start of our SummerSlam review. Let's talk about that Battle Royale.
Yes, let's talk about it.
At the end of the day, it's a 25-person Battle Royale. You can't really judge it on its wrestling. It's a lot of people in the ring, And you had cool moments in there, right? Like, the crowd is really getting behind Chad.
Oh, yeah. They love American Alpha. And I think it's a lot to do with what they do on Raw with Maxine and the Alpha Academy. Yeah.
But wait, how much did you roll your eyes when MVP came out at the start and announced Omos? And I was like, I don't care.
Okay. I didn't hate it probably as much as you because I was thinking, okay, they got somebody that they can fight or target, or gang up on in the match. So that was like a story, right?
It's like, I get it, but also at the same time, I was very happy not seeing Omos on my screen for however many months. Suddenly, this like giant show. Oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah. It was that okay. Anticlimactic vibes. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, right. Because like legit, he hasn't done anything recently, and he's supposed to be like a free agent, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Zayden, I agree because after all of them gang up and like remove Omos, and they were like to the final four probably. There was like Bronson Reed, there was Sheamus, there was AJ, I believe, and then there was LA. I also felt very, very scared. There was a couple of times where they threw LA out of the ring. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna screw him up. So I think the fear of LA getting eliminated got the crowd really invested into the match, So yeah.
I will say that I feel like it's too early. I feel like they should have teased us a bit more. Come on, I want LA Knight to win the Royal Rumble, man. I want that to be so. Like, he wins this, what does it mean? It means nothing. as much.
But that's not bad because he won something that is meaningless. People still want more from him, It's
Right.
Okay, it's a small notch for him. Okay, what else can he do? And he did something interesting on Raw. I think you will like. I can talk about it in a bit.
Okay, I saw I saw the clips. He was promoting against Miz, right? So something along those lines. But it makes sense. He is super hot right now, and I guess you're right. In a way, this is how they capitalize. By just giving him small win, I still think he should win the Royal Rumble.
I mean, LA Knight, I think I would agree that he is finally the triggers being pushed on him.
Yep.
And based on what they were talking about in the press con, I loved it. I love his confidence in the press con because people were talking about what if this doesn't pan out. I think one of the journalists was asking like, what if this momentum dies and what if the crowd turns on you, right? And then he asked him back. He flipped the question back to the interviewer like, hey, you don't believe in me? You don't believe in me? Do you think I can't do it? And then they were like, no, I believe in you, bro. It's like, yeah, I believe in me. I believe in me. I'm gonna do me. Whether the crowd turns, because there will be a point in time where the WWE universe fucking fickle. They will be like, let's boo him, let's get bored. But I feel he is so dialed into his character that people turn. It doesn't really matter. He's still gonna be him.
Yep. No, exactly. 100% agree. Let's move on to the next match.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Arguably, can we call this the worst match of the night?
Oh dear God!
I mean, it was, right? It was 7 minutes of them trying to do an MMA match. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey.
Before we talk about the match and you talk about how you were so invested in the storyline for Cody and Brock when you saw the promo package.
Yeah.
The promo package that they did before the match, and I talked about it before as well because I saw it on Raw. It was incredible.
Okay. I didn't see it. I went to the toilet. I skipped the promo.
The best part about this whole match was actually the promo before that. I hope you take some time to watch it back, bro. Because, things that will shock you from that promo.
Yeah.
Ronda cut a damn emotional promo and cried in the video package, the vignette. Shayna Baszler came across as like a badass and told a proper story, which I feel that, okay, now I know what works for them. They can't be in the middle of the ring talking to the fans. They have to do backstage promos, right?
Because they are MMA fighters. This is what they do best, fight, not promo.
No, but the story that they told, and I know they pulled it up from real life, it was almost Dark Side of the Ring vibes, bro.
Ooh.
Let me elaborate further, and probably I hope that this will intrigue you to watch the promo. They talk about how Shayna admitted that yes, Ronda gave her a place to stay, let her live with in her house free, didn't have to pay anything. But in return, she became like the de facto training buddy where her job is to get beat up all the time. So somebody said like it's almost like Fabulous Moolah, because somebody like her who grinded in the MMA circles for so long, didn't get opportunity. This girl Ronda surpassed her in that way, brought her in to train her, kept her as a friend, but then abuse her or like toxic relationship, right?
Yeah.
That's how Shayna framed it as. But then Ronda framed it in a very interesting way. She said like as the king, call herself a king. A king got injured. A stable boy, he protected the stable boy. Stable boy, out of his appreciation, became the most loyal servant to the king's side. But after a long time, the stable boy got too contented or took it for granted, and the ego got to a head, the good life got to a head, and now he wants to backstab and kill the king. So both their narratives make sense within the context, and Ronda cried and it felt real because Shayna said something fucking fucked up, but it's actually badass. It's a badass wrestling line.
Okay.
He said I was the first person to hold Ronda's child after her mom and her husband. And he said, I have no idea how I'm going to explain to this kid when she grows up, because I love this kid, that I beat the shit out of your mom or I killed you. Or I'm the one that basically I'm the one that is the reason why you probably grew up without a mom.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically she promised to kill her in the middle of the ring. So I was like, holy shit, okay.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
okay,
So the hype was there, but
The
the
hype-
match, no.
No, wait. I wouldn't even say the hype was there. The hype package was there. Because let's face it, in the weeks prior, the promos were garbage as well. Like,
Yeah.
you're
The
right.
promos in the ring.
They are really the type you need to sit them at the back, maybe film a few times, and then you edit until sweet, then can, right?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
most MMA fighters. So, yeah, I know they tried to, and remember we were talking about like how this just seems like Ronda just wants to get out of her contract already. So the last thing she'll do is put over her best friend in real life, which is Shayna Baszler, and that's exactly what they did. And then they did it in a way where it's like, this is our match, right? So now I'm passing on this baddest bee in the world title to Shayna Baszler, because if Shayna can beat me at MMA, that means she's the baddest bitch, right?
Yeah, no, it's storyline wise, it makes sense. In terms of their history, it makes sense. Of course, Ronda's gonna put over, her
Shayna.
best friend, right? But then my question is, right, like, why in an MMA rules match?
Wait, well, like I said, because Ronda is known to be an MMA quote unquote legend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So her losing to Shayna in an MMA match gives Shayna all, because Ronda doesn't care already. She retired from MMA already. She doesn't want to do MMA, and I think she's done with WWE as well. So she's like, let me just give you everything I can give you. If she had lost in a wrestling match, well, okay lah, but wrestling is not Ronda's like what
Forte,
she's famous
right?
for. Right, yeah. Ronda was famous for MMA. So you give Shayna the biggest rub possible by losing in an MMA fight. That being said, a worked MMA fight was rough. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. Who did the better match? This match or Jake Hager and Wardlow in the MMA cage?
No,
remember?
both were awful. Look. There's a reason why you don't try to work an MMA match. It looks like dog shit.
Yeah, it doesn't work like in a
It
WWE
doesn't
context.
translate. Yeah.
And the crowd was silent, bro.
Because they didn't know what they were watching. If you are a wrestling fan, right, WWE fan, right, pro wrestling, and the first time you watch MMA, it can be boring. Because real fighting is not flashy moves and punches and I punch you, you punch me. It's not how real fighting works, right? It's a lot of parrying and dodging and blocking and and if it goes to the ground, if you're not educated on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it looks downright boring. Oh, they're not doing anything.
They're hugging. They're hugging each other.
Yes. Bro, like in the heyday when UFC first started getting popular and then these events were being held, like there was so many times when I would be watching MMA and people around me were like, what are they doing on the ground hugging? Oh, it's so boring, this one. It's like, because they don't get what they're watching. In 2023, it's a little bit different. People are a little bit more educated. But there's still a huge group who don't know any better, right? Who are like, wow, this is very weird. This is very boring. So all in all, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think MMA would have worked well if it was like in the 90s where people were like, okay, in the WWE context, people were like, this guy is a real badass. He's gonna kill him. And it was in the Attitude Era. People loved the fact that Ken Shamrock was a legit fighter, right?
Yeah.
But most people, like casuals, who had no idea the concept of fighting, right? When they think of fighting, they want it to be exciting. They think of movie fighting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is WWE lah. So that's why WWE can bring in casual fans more easier than an MMA fan.
Yeah, because it is cinematic. It is like, I wind up, big punch. If you wind up a big ass punch in MMA, that's it already. You get taken down, you get clocked in the face before you can even throw the punch, right? Doesn't work.
Exactly. But with that being said, and I think I wanted to, echo what Zayden said, right? I think they really did shoot kicks to each other, because I remember there was one time Shayna did a kick to her and like, bro, what the fuck? Is that Holy Holmes kick to the head or what?
Okay, look, if you've ever trained in Muay Thai or MMA, right? You try to pull your shots. Obviously, you're not trying to hurt your sparring partner, but sometimes you will whack. Sometimes you will like throw one that they lean into and then they get caught, whatever it is, right? So that's what they were trying to do. I've seen it before. It looks like sparring, but hard sparring, and it doesn't translate.
It's almost as if like they were saying like, okay, you know what? This is a match between the both of us. It's for the both of us. Let's whack the shit out of each other and apologize to each other later.
Yeah. Well, without actually whacking each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. I just feel that this match didn't fit well with the rest of the the matches that was being put out.
No.
It kind of turned off the crowd, in my opinion, which is such a shame, lah.
Yeah.
Right? Because this whole match was supposed to put over Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler was supposed to come out looking like a star, but it was more like a wet fight.
Well, the build for this was nonsense. It was garbage.
Yeah.
The build for this, like, I don't know. Ever since the Shayna Baszler turn, and she was supposed to be the heel because she turned, but the crowd freaking loved her for turning. And it was just this weird, like, the whole thing was just handled very poorly. It was just a quick way for Ronda to say, bye-bye. Here, let me give you all my credentials. All right, let's not focus on this too much because we need to move on.
Yeah, but we can just wrap it up by saying, like, I believe Ronda made it clear to WWE her hard deadline to leave WWE was this date, and I think because they realized, oh shit, okay, they can't tell the story in enough time. Let's just skip to the last part.
Just do an MMA fight and that's it. Let's move on. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship.
Indeed, Gunther.
I don't know if it was because the previous match sapped the life out of me. But no, really, I feel like these two had to freaking resurrect the dead. These two had an uphill climb, bro. Because like that previous match, I was so bored. Really. I was half not paying attention anymore.
Well, when this match was happening live, it was the same time as Ricky Starks versus CM Punk. So I was like a bit torn, whether I watch my favorite wrestler or want to watch a really good match, right?
Yeah, I think this match really suffered from they've done this before, and Drew's sort of return has sort of been it only just happened, The Drew heel turn needs to happen. He's a bit stale at this point.
Yeah,
he needs. Like
his
these
return didn't feel like a monumental deal, except for Money in the Bank. Yes, it was great, but after that, nothing happened.
Correct. This one was also arch, but then again, all Drew and Gunther matches are because they are hard-hitting fellas. So there's a lot of meat being slapped, which is great, right? But I think now they need to put a new wrinkle on it because we've seen the hard-hitting meat slapping already. So you can't continually do that.
You're right. They've done it before and they did it better with Sheamus, right?
Yeah.
And they've done it, at WrestleMania, and he had both Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So, I think it just boils down to the characters in this, right? We have a guy who's really, really hot in Gunther. Yeah. We have a guy who's really, really not in Drew McIntyre. No. That's just what it is.
Yeah. So, like, it is very much a case of we've seen this done better, and now we need a new wrinkle to it. Like, if you give me Gunther versus, let's say, Ilya Dragunov, that would be fresh because Ilya is a smaller guy. Right? So it's a different story being told. This story has been told before. And unfortunately for Drew, he's kind of stale and cold right now.
Yeah. And Ilya, again, I've been keeping an eye on him in NXT. He had an amazing match with Carmelo Hayes. Yeah. We know what he can do with Gunther. And they've done it twice, right? I believe.
Yeah. NXT UK and NXT.
And both times were amazing. But they haven't been overexposed. They haven't been overexposed yet,
It's only a matter of time. I know that Triple H is like, okay, we have this in the bag. One day we're going to bring up Ilya versus Gunther. They're going to have a crazy-ass rivalry.
Yeah, and the best thing is, right, previously we know Ilya is this like crazy Russian guy, but nothing much to his personality other than he's a crazy Russian guy. Yeah. But I've seen his promos recently, bro. He can cut promo now, bro. He can speak well.
He's been taking, the English classes, bro.
Yeah, so I think the Duolingo is helping him. Yeah. He probably will be ready for the roster to be maybe the guy that might eventually dethrone Gunther. Imagine that on the main roster, dethroning Gunther for the IC title.
Well, you know what? If he dethrones Gunther for the IC title, that frees up Gunther to go to the main event scene. But
but for the context of this match, it's obvious that he had to retain because come on, Honky Tonk is just literally that record is 1 month away. So he's gonna break it for sure.
Yeah, and you need to break that record because that record is way too old and Honky Tonk is not relevant. Hasn't been relevant for a very long time.
When Honky Tonk beat and became the longest reigning champion, people were like, what the fuck? Why is this title record on him of all people?
I'm just a Honky Tonk man. I'm just a... What, you don't like the I'm just a Honky Tonk man? You don't like that?
This is a rip-off of Elvis, bro. That's like...
I'm just a Honky Tonk... Oh my god, this is bringing back flashbacks. Hey, this is the 80s. This is my era. I was growing up watching the Honky Tonk man be crowned the longest reigning Intercontinental champion. I remember this shit. Okay, it was nonsense.
Wouldn't your father go to you and it's like, hey, why this guy trying to copy Elvis from my
No, exactly it, right? And because he was a dastardly, cheating cowardly heel. So that's why it worked, right? Because the second, I don't even remember who beat him for it, but the second he lost that title, it was like big deal. So that was the whole point.
Warrior, right? Ultimate Warrior body at SummerSlam and beat
Yes,
him.
look at you, Mr. Wrestling Historian over here.
Oh, foreign. Don't forget. Wait. Speaking of wrestling historian, right? This is a piece of very weird trivia that I've always curious to ask, but I never really asked before. Is Honky Tonk Man and JR related to each other? The King. Jerry the King Lawler?
No, I don't know.
But it's same gimmick, what?
No lah, one's the King, the other one is Honky Tonk Man, the other one is Elvis impersonator. No, I believe I think McMahon, Vince always used to tease that they were cousins or something like that.
Oh, like but storyline lah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's storyline or real life. Actually, I don't know. They always, I remember on commentary they would tease, like the same way they would tease what's that fella? His son.
The Grandmaster Sexay.
Yeah, they used to tease Grandmaster Sexay. Oh, who says they are cousins? There you go.
I mean, they do look the same and probably copy each other's gimmick.
I'm just a honky tonk man. Okay, come, let's move on from the
yes.
IC Championship match. I agree, it was a little bit of a letdown, unfortunately, considering who is involved in the match, right?
Yep.
Been there, done that lah. Talking about been there, done that, as much as I love these two, and these two are great workers, they have amazing matches, but once again, like going in, I was like, it's them again. Like we've seen this match before, right? So to me, even with the whole Money in the Bank thing looming over it, I was like, okay, at some point, Damian Priest is going to come out, tease the cash in, blah, 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 and that's exactly how it played out.
Yeah. Well, when I was watching this live on the Discord, like the fans were hyped for it. Our listeners as well were like hyped for it because, right, I feel like Seth Rollins is definitely a main event star.
Sure.
He got the music, he got the vibe, he got the title. But then Finn Balor, bro, in his recent run, I think he has managed to elevate himself to feel like a main eventer. I do not know whether it's the Judgment Day Association. I do not know whether it's the music because, bro, his updated music is actually pretty badass. I do feel like he has reached the level of a main eventer. My only problem is like you said, they have paired up so many times, and even though they tell the story of like, 7 years ago this happened to me, it feels like they have been feuding the last 7 years. It doesn't feel like a fresh thing, right?
Even though they were apart from each other, right? Yeah. Okay, I will actually disagree with you on the fact that you feel like Finn is a main eventer, because if you look at his group, right, Dom is more over than him. Rhea is more over than him. You could argue that Damian Priest is more over than him. So I feel like in his own group, he's the least over fella.
Well, as Triple H would say, we can argue that, Rhea could be the leader. We can argue that, Damian can be the leader, Finn can be the leader, but nobody is arguing that Dom should be the leader. So
he is more over than, Finn, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of heat.
Finn feels like in the faction, he should be going for the IC championship.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Which is why this match just feels weird. And then you have Damian Priest coming out with their whole shenanigans, and then the briefcase gets knocked into the ring, and then stomp onto the briefcase. So it's again a retread of what has happened before, like the miscommunication leading to Finn losing the match, and thus his shot at the title.
Yeah, but I'm just feel bad for Finn because I really want Finn to get that world title, right? I think he's way overdue, even if it's for a cup of coffee, right, bro? Like, he should lah. Like, bro, he's put in so much years into it, bro.
He really had it for a cup of coffee, bro. He had a cup of coffee, got injured next day on Raw, give up.
Yeah, and it's like almost like, remember Kane 1998 when he won that first blood match for just that night and then had to lose it. It's a shame lah. So more of as a fan of Finn, I wanted him to win the title, but it seems like WWE is not gonna tell that story. WWE is gonna tell the story of Damian, screwing him over.
So the question is, did they fall out on Raw? I haven't watched Raw, so I don't know.
No, not yet. They actually was in the main event and they fought, I believe, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes after Brock, he actually went and joined. The Judgment Day, I believe. No, sorry.
Huh?
After Raw, he actually went and confronted Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So that means he's going back for the world title, yeah.
Right. But Seth Rollins' title are not Roman Reigns. Okay, that's an interesting.
Yeah,
I
correct.
saw a clip on Instagram, where JD McDonald's, attacks Sami Zayn backstage. Did you see that?
Okay.
And what's the deal with that?
I believe so.
It looks like
Yeah.
Sami Zayn had a giant hematoma on his some sort of giant thing on his
So
elbow.
he got attacked. He got attacked by
JD.
I think JD. Yeah. So they're involving Sami Zayn in this storyline probably.
So is
Yeah.
JD McDonough joining the Judgment Day, which would be a nice fit actually. He needs a faction.
Yeah, but I think not confirmed yet.
Not confirmed,
But
okay.
JD McDonough is like also another bland white meat looking baby.
No, but okay, so his whole thing, he's like this like joint butch match. He's a joint guy, right? He'll break your bones.
Manipulator.
And he's like a tiny guy, so he needs affection. He needs to be that like rabbit, like crazy, like hey guy that
I
Butch
see.
is for the Brawling Brutes, right? So I think it makes sense for him to join a group because on his own, I think he would be just floating around.
Okay, no problem. Well, we shall see how it goes. But again, like you said, Finn seems to not be part of the main story anymore. And Damian Priest as the title holder, what's your thoughts of him being the main guy in Judgment Day then?
I think he can be. Like, I foresee a situation where finally he cashes in, he becomes a champion, Finn Tulan turns, and then they get rid of Finn and they replace Finn with something like a JD McDonough lah. Irishman for Irishman. Perfect swap, bro.
Dear God, yeah. I mean, Damian Priest looks like the man in the group. You know what I mean?
Does. He
Yeah,
looks
he
like a
got
leader. He sounds like a leader. Apparently, there was a thing with Nakamura, Cody, and Seth, so maybe that's the combination going ahead.
Yeah. Apparently, Nakamura kind of turned on Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Div says, doesn't JD have abuse allegations? Does he abuse allegations against him?
Wait, what? JD McDonough?
I don't know about that. He abused Big Macs, is it? JD McDonald's? We will look into that. But let's carry on here with the SummerSlam review. So ultimately, like I said, I enjoyed the match, but again, a lot of it feels like I've seen this before. Even down to the ending, the screw job, whatever. Not screw job, but the miscommunication. I've seen this before. So it felt a bit like,
Though I don't want Judgment Day to break up since we already have Bloodline breaking on the other side. So
too soon.
We shall see. We shall see because they are still one of the highest drawing acts on Raw. Like every time they're on Raw, the numbers go up. So I think they should still run with it a bit more. Maybe WrestleMania until WrestleMania.
Maybe. Okay, let's talk about Bianca Belair versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. And I'm gonna just say it up front. This was the worst match to me that wasn't Shayna versus Ronda. Okay, like the women, for whatever reason, on this pay-per-view were just the worst. And this is coming from someone who loves what Charlotte Flair does, Bianca Belair, and we're all very high on Asuka, right? For whatever reason, I feel like these three had no chemistry. I don't know if Charlotte being away for so long, she's more interested in other things, but this just fell horribly flat to me. Not only did the crowd felt flat, a lot of the spots, they were like, hesitant. There was a lot of miscomm. Like, what?
Yeah.
Did you feel the same way?
Bro, I think shit just went downhill as soon as Charlotte had that wardrobe malfunction. Do you remember that part?
There was when? I didn't notice this.
Bro, okay, so the first 5 minutes of the match, they were doing a spot, right? And then I think Charlotte kind of whipped both of them into the corner. And as they were whipping into the corner, as she was about to like do her handspring elbow or something like that, then suddenly her entire back zipper flew off. Legit. Okay, you go watch it back, right? And then the zipper flew off, right? I thought like, okay lah, then like, the referee had to cover her up, take some time and all that. And I thought the two people at the corner will just fall to the ground and sell or go out of the ring.
Yeah.
But both of them just stayed there, bro. So for like a good 2 minutes or 1 or 2 minutes, they just had Asuka and Bianca like on the corner, just like resting there. And then
so they were waiting for Charlotte to do a move, and then like Charlotte couldn't because she had to fix her shit, right?
Yeah, and they didn't improv. They didn't do it. They just wait there while Jessica Carr, the referee, tried to zip up. So it's like a zip up situation. You know?
I don't want to be that guy, bro. I don't want to be that guy. But I feel like the referee was crap also in this match. Everybody involved in this match was off. Like, you know how when the second a big move happens and then the ref goes on, bam, to counter. Like, I can feel the half a second delay with Jessica Carr. I'm sorry, but
it's the Mike Tyson hand count lah.
Yeah, it's like she takes like she's out of position. She takes half a second, 1 second to get down there to count one, and then it feels like forever in a moment where it's supposed to be like, oh shit, is she gonna get the win? It feels like an extra second, and it feels and I agree with Asio here. Charlotte has the I don't give a F attitude. It felt like she didn't care to be there. She was just going through the motions. So I hated the match so much. Like, it was so bad.
Do you think, now knowing what we saw, Triple H have kept Becky and Trish Stratus instead in that spot? I
think so. I think, the fact that Rhea didn't have a match, Rhea and Raquel, Becky and Trish, I'm just very surprised at how 3 top-tier women could produce such a dog shit match.
It's I get what you mean. It's kind of disappointing. And the funny thing is, the first half of the match was so bad that I was like, okay, something needs to happen to save this whole situation, salvage this whole situation, right?
Yeah.
And thank God for. First of all, things picked up towards the end, which I felt was okay.
Yeah.
When they kind of sold that, Bianca had this crazy injury when she fell from the outside, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, they say it in such a way that her knee landed on the steps, right? But they didn't show the angle properly. They just show it from afar. And for a good maybe 1 or 2 minutes, I actually fell for it, bro. Bianca was legitimately injured. I think the way she was screaming.
And crying.
I really like, oh wow, oh shit, like this match really so shit. This thing happened. Wow, poor girls, right?
But no, it was a good work, yes. But of course, you had Bianca pick up the win, and then the second she started running back, I was like, okay, this will work,
Yeah.
But of course, everyone is there for Io Sky cashing in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think when Io Sky came and the crowd pop, I don't think it's a pop of seeing her come. It's the pop of, oh shit, something's finally happening.
No, I was about to say that, bro. I think they were popping not because of Io Sky, but because, wow, this was such a bad match. At least now got something interesting happening.
Yeah, it was that vibe. And when she came out with Bailey and even Dakota Sky returning, I was like, oh.
And they cheered. I was amazed that they cheered for Dakota Kai. I'm like, oh, okay, she's relevant now. But more than anything, I think they were cheering because it was like something quote unquote exciting when the match itself was kind of flat.
Knowing that Io was gonna cash in, right? Should they have change the title? Like, should Bianca have beaten Asuka, or Asuka should have retained? Because I felt like then they just gave a random 10 talk about a short reign. They just gave Bianca probably a 1 minute reign, 2 minute reign.
No, I think the point is to have Bianca get that, like, oh my god, it's Bianca's time, right? Because they want to give babyface heat to Bianca, and then only to have it snatched away. I think that was the idea. The problem is the match was so shit that you couldn't have that moment. The whole point was to have Bianca fight through the odds. She got injured leg, she comes back and wins. Oh, what a babyface moment. Nah! And then gets screwed by Io Sky. So the funny thing is, I think this was supposed to paint Io more as a heel, but if anything, because the match was so bad, Io became a face.
Yeah, it was so disappointing because I think we all know the capabilities of Charlotte, Bianca, Asuka. Like, the three of them together should have put on a banger.
Yeah.
But maybe because of the constraints, maybe because of whatever booking, it just didn't work out for the match itself.
Could it be that Charlotte is done? Like, really, this I don't give a F attitude, and then Asuka kind of has been done for a while. Let's face it, she hasn't been presented.
But Asuka returned with a new character, with a clown character in WrestleMania, and I thought it was like a
clown.
I thought it was a reinvention.
No. Her badass. See, there she can put face paint, she can spit mist, right? But her badassness has not been replicated like what she had in NXT. That one is a booking thing because she was booked strong, beating everybody decisively and in a monstrous way. Now she came back, she became champion. That's great, but it wasn't that Asuka. It wasn't that world beater Asuka. It was just, she cheats with the mist.
The last time Asuka felt that special, I think, was probably WrestleMania 34 when she had a one-on-one match with Charlotte Flair, and she came into that match undefeated, remember?
Yes. And then it just went downhill from there, Okay, so at least Moving
Io
on.
at least.
Yeah,
Io
we
at
got
least.
EO winning the title. I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but we'll have to see. I'm just very afraid because I feel like EO Sky. Yeah, some of you guys in chat say that she does get positive reactions on TV, right? But
Yep.
for every positive reaction she gets, she also gets like no reaction sometimes. She's one of those. I feel like if you are a fan of NXT, like the hardcore fans will know, but the not like the more casuals would not.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
She feels more like I support you because I respect you more than I support you because you're the most interesting thing on television, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. So those who know will cheer. Those who are like very casual, like I don't know who this is. Or I mean, you know, like it's Yo Sky law, like that law. You know, like yeah. Okay,
I get what you mean.
let's get to the main event of the evening. And how disappointed were you, bro, when it started and there was literally nothing. There was no Rikishi. There was no Samoan. Wild Samoans. There was not. It was literally a no holds barred match. It was just a no holds barred match. No holds barred match.
No tribal combat.
No, nothing, bro. How?
No
like,
gong, no Shao Kahn, no
Shao Kahn.
throne. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did we set ourselves up for this disappointment? Like we were remember we were like, oh yeah, you know, they remove the ring ropes and they have like Rikishi sit on a big chair and then like do the whole tribal combat and then like some Samoan dance, and none of that was done. Absolutely none of it was done.
I mean, there was, how to say, like I expected this from WWE, but then again, WWE also have set up those expectations for us.
Yeah.
Because just 1 year ago, you had freaking Brock with a tractor. You know, that was their no holds barred match. You know what I mean? So why can't they recreate something as epic as that?
And that's a very good point because they did not raise the bar. In fact, that tractor thing set the bar so high that now everything just kind of felt bland. Right? It just kind of felt like, huh? Okay, so... And they literally just had a regular no-holds-barred match, like a garbage match. I hate to say it, bro, but, you know, I'm going to go back to what I originally said. Jey Uso is not a main event guy. I'm sorry, but as the match went on, it's like the hype before the match felt good, but in the match itself, I tuned out. I got bored. I'm like, it's Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. I don't give a crap.
So you're saying that G kind of didn't shine when the spotlight was on him?
Nope.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. He just felt like, you know what this felt like? It felt like a main event of SmackDown. It felt because I don't know if it's because they didn't dress it up as well. Like, I hate to say it, but you know, like you had me going, WWE had me going with the storyline, but when the final product finally delivered, I was like, yeah, this is why I said Jey Uso shouldn't be in the main event of SummerSlam. Because it just felt like a big, fat, wet blanket disappointment.
Yeah.
It could have been, I think it could have been saved if they told more of a cinematic story with the tribal council and Rikishi and the gonging and the Samoan dancers and whatever. If they they try to pimp him up, right? Like try to pimp the whole thing up. But it just felt like Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso with some weapons. It's all it felt. It was like,
Somebody brought up a great comment online. I think the hype that Sami Zayn had at Montreal felt like a bigger deal than Jey Uso and Roman Reigns.
Yes, right? I agree with you. I agree with that 100%. There was like the hype for Kofi Mania was bigger.
And I don't know what it's down to though. Like, is it because Jey, wasn't able to perform to that level? Is it because the odds and the environment, like you said, was against them because of the lack of tribal combat? What is it?
Maybe he's just a B+ player. No, but do you see Jey as a main event guy? Do you see him on the marquee? No.
Okay, he had the potential, right? But the problem is, right, I just felt like the moment they revealed the twist, and I'm like, okay, WWE doesn't see him as the guy. You get what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, as in if they wanted to make him a main eventer, you would have to go all out with it, right? And actually commit to making him the guy. But the fact that I feel like he was the guy, he's only there because the storyline dictated that he was there. Versus like a Brock versus Stone Cold, you don't even need a story. That is a main event.
Yeah. Okay, I know how to put it then. Compare these three people, right? you can see which one WWE thinks is the star, the top guy, right?
Yeah.
Even though all three of them had great matches against Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah.
You look at Jey Uso, you look at Sami Zayn, you look at Cody Rhodes. Who felt like a top star fighting against Roman Reigns? And
Cody
who felt like they were just put in that position because of the story?
Jay. And Sammy was the one, like a little bit of both. But Sammy also was more of a storyline, sort of like, built over the months. Whereas anytime you put Cody versus Roman, even with 1 week build, you can do it. It's a main event, it's a marquee match. Whereas with Jay, you had to have this entire bloodline thing, and then the payoff wasn't there because they didn't dress it up. And there was the other thing of, like, it was supposed to be an honorable match, right? Like, tribal combat, nobody interfere, and then everybody and their mother interfere. So this is like a rehash of the same old, Roman can't win it by himself. And then you had Jimmy turning on Jay. So I guess that's the program moving forward, Jimmy versus Jay, right?
Yeah. But I think it just boils down to perception, right?
Yeah.
Like the reason why we thought like Cody's the top star, because he treated himself like the top star.
Yep.
He would left WWE, he became a top star, he came back, he treated himself like a top star, booking is like a top star. Problem with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, for the longest time, they were so misused in WWE.
Yeah.
Jay was forever a tag team guy, Sami was bouncing around. When they finally got the chance to be in the main event, it felt like, yes, well deserved after putting in years of service. But it didn't feel like, this guy's gonna break out and be the top star.
See, like, I feel like your point of view is that they are not top stars because somebody determined that they were not top stars. What I'm trying to say is I don't think they even feel like they are top stars. And you know what I mean?
I agree with you. I'm not saying that I people are making them not the top stars. I feel like they themselves have been presented in such a way, and I think they themselves are not capable of going up to that level because of the environment and because of how they have been,
portrayed.
Perceived. Portrayed.
And how they portray themselves in a lot of ways. Like, he comes out, he dresses exactly the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like from a top star, you expect a very, like, a head-turning look.
He should have gotten that Killmonger mindset,
Oh my,
like the Killmonger vibe, when he tried to take down the bloodline.
No, he felt like Jey Uso just angry. No, but that's a really good point. Like, if he can transform, it's about transforming your character, the perception of your character, right? Yeah, you're not the most buff, not the biggest guy, but if you are like super cunning about it, then there's none of that. It's just him being very angry and being very passionate.
Look at Rishi's comment. I think he hit the nail right on the head, what we're trying to go for.
No, that's exactly it. If he did win the championship, what the hell will he do with it? You can't put your whole company on Jey Uso, unfortunately. He's just not the guy.
Does that make Roman Reigns' statement true? Because remember, he said before SmackDown, he said like, if I lose this match, if the tribal chief title is taken away from me, I'm still Roman Reigns.
Yeah. No,
I can still go beyond the bloodline, but you really, this is all you have. Like, that's what you're trying to say to Jey Uso, and I think he's proven right.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, right? And it just like, okay, now with the whole Jimmy twist, and I don't know what it is, like they really can't get The Rock, so they're trying to drag this out, but oh wow, okay. I think they've hit that point of this is overcooked.
Yeah.
I think they've hit it already.
And you said it as well. You talk about how like, maybe this is the first time the bloodline has suddenly felt like, okay, I think this is too much really. Should have ended it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, okay, now reports are saying, Jimmy and Jay of course gonna feud with each other. Payback is gonna be on the horizon. Roman's gonna be off TV for a while, according to reports.
To take a break, whatever.
Take a break, and like then again, a championship disappears, right? Do you feel like, okay, since Bloodline is gonna have a break essentially, probably they're gonna push Solo Sikoa as like the guy who's gonna be like the mini Roman Reigns.
Sure.
Who do you think should Roman Reigns feud with when he returns? Like probably around Survivor Series, Crown Jewel. Who should be that guy in that spot then?
I don't know, because do you think that there is a resolution with this Jay, unless the resolution comes from Jay beating Jimmy and Sikoa Solo?
Yeah, but I feel like they would want to drag out Jay and Jimmy all the way to WrestleMania, so it has to be like a long, slow burn storyline.
Oh my god!
But they need a Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns scenario from last year's Crown Jewel. You get what I mean? Some random guy who can feud for a while only.
By the way, they also tease a little dissension between Solo and Roman.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think Solo is even ready for a title shot?
No.
No, he's not, right? No, like he
he's
doesn't
not.
even hasn't even won a mid-card title yet.
Bro, they need somebody new.
Yeah.
And okay, I got two theories, and I hope either one happens.
Wait. Is one of them Austin?
Unfortunately, no. the guy is still AF, bro, and he can just stay in that US title picture, bro.
He was wasn't he in the SummerSlam Battle Royal?
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about him.
I saw him in the Battle Royal. I'm like, why are you here? You're the US champion. Like, they really dropped the ball on him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, somebody, I think Bill Apter actually asked that question to Triple H during the press conference, like, why is the US champion fighting in a battle royal to survive? And then, like, I think Triple H just dismissed him and say something like, so that he can win a battle royal. Like he just blow him off. But whatever it is, right? But my theory is, bro, on the background, SmackDown, it's been cooking. We got that Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits vibes.
Oh yes,
going on. So that could be the Judgment Day equivalent on SmackDown. Like in the absence of the Bloodline, no top factions on SmackDown. Yeah. Maybe we'll probably see the rise of Hurt Business 2.0 in the vacuum, right?
Can we just have MVP ditch Omos and rejoin? Like seriously, I salivate at the thought of a mouthpiece in MVP, Bobby Lashley as the main event muscle, and the Street Profits as the tag team. Like holy shit, how badass is this group?
Can I add one more member? And I think they will put on a whole nother level.
Okay.
Current Hurt Business, right? With Street Profits, MVP, and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
They recruit Bianca Belair and turn heel.
Bro, let's go. Yeah.
Then she can be the Rhea Ripley equivalent. And then they can have the Rhea Ripley Bianca at WrestleMania because you got the two top lady heels in a faction fighting each other.
But that's not gonna happen.
Bro, it's gonna happen, bro.
Bianca is too good of a fresh, like a representation, a great fighting champion sort of a person.
No, but imagine, bro, Bianca badass heel.
No, I get I've said this a million times. Her heel persona in NXT was the best.
Yeah,
Shadow says Priest should have cashed in.
Then Brand Split makes him solo. Oh, okay. Well, we talked about it just now, but I maybe Priest can become the champion, but they need to let that story cook for a bit with Finn Balor, right?
Yeah.
My second theory, bro. Since they need a placeholder for the world title, right?
Yeah.
Why not just hotshot LA Knight, bro? Why not? Why not just give him that temporary, almost beat Roman, but just fall short? The crowd will, in the absence of Jay in that top spot, babyface LA Knight. What do you think?
Bro, yes, and LA Knight can be the guy on the marquee. He screams superstar. I can buy him versus Roman versus Seth versus anybody on the marquee more than Jay.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like if LA Knight is in the title contention, he could be a champion. Like he could beat Seth Rollins. He could give Roman Reigns a run for his money. And he might not be the top feud that goes all the way to WrestleMania. That's fine because we need a placeholder until Cody Rhodes fights Roman Reigns. So why not put LA Knight in that spot? Let him see let the fans see him in that spot.
What about Karrion Kross? Hey, bro, he's been growing out his hair, right? I swear, during that, that Battle Royal, I was like, why is there a buff CM Punk in the ring? Then I realized, it's Karrion, because he has that mid-length head, CM Punk had that era where he had the soccer mom hair, right? And it was wet, and then he had the tattoos. And I was like, was this CM Punk? Oh wait, no, that's Karrion Kross.
I mean, we can have AJ Styles and Karrion Kross in the field of mediocrity It's fine
The field of mediocrity is so real. Muhammad Daniel says Omos can be the bodyguard for the Hurt Business 2.0. No, Omos needs to go back to NXT and just
I know Omos looks like he can be the muscle, but it's not fair to put all the black people in one faction. Then that one is just too easy already, bro.
No, it's not Hurt Business already. It's Nation of Domination 3.0.
Yeah, bro. Wakanda already, bro. No, it's fine.
CM Cross, yes.
Oh dear God. Okay, so yeah, just to put a bow on it, I feel like those are the potential directions for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
For Jey Uso, yeah, they're gonna fight against Jimmy. But maybe this is just the level, all right? That's
Yeah,
where he's
maybe.
supposed to be upper main event, fighting his family members, and that's it, lah.
Do
That's
do
it.
you see him at some point with the IC or the US title as a solo? Like,
I think that's fine. I think that's a good level for him to be in, at least, right?
yeah, sure.
Because he's never won anything beyond the tag team title, which is kind of weird to say. You know, even Kofi Kingston, who by the way just returned on Raw,
Yeah.
even Kofi Kingston won a singles title. Even Xavier Woods, Big E, like
Yeah.
did something for themselves. But the Usos have never been able to stand out on their own. So maybe this could be an opportunity.
I think it's very tough for them because they are literally twins. They are legit brothers. They are twins. Versus like if you are a tag team of two different, like you're not brothers, you have no link, quote unquote, you're just a tag team. I think it's easier for them to break out and then like rebrand. Like the only other brother duo you can think of, one that has gone on to win championships in a solo capacity is
Man and Jeff.
yeah, who are going to face the Young Bucks on Dynamite. Ain't nobody want to see that shit.
I thought you were gonna say the Brothers of Destruction. They are a tag team and they are brothers to me. Damn it.
Okay. No, they were established single stars first. That one different. The Usos came in as a tag team.
Yeah,
And they are actual brothers. So it's very tough for them to get separated at any given point.
Are you telling me Kane and Undertaker are not real life brothers?
Anyway. Yes, it definitely looks like Gable is getting a push. Dovahkiin's talking about Gable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, did you watch or saw Raw last week where Gable actually survived like a 5-minute match with Gunther? Like they.
Dovahkiin says Gable beat Gunther on SmackDown.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember also.
No, I only remember Gunther put out like a 5-minute challenge, like beat the clock challenge, and if he could survive, and he survived that match, and then he got beaten down. But Chad Gable, by the way, this is just spoilers for Raw. He won that fatal 4-way match, the one I was telling you that Ricochet was in. So Chad Gable is actually going to challenge Gunther for the IC title next.
I mean, okay, look, we all know that he's not going to win, but I think he will be a very good opponent for Gunther because, like we talked about, the big man meat slapping is a bit stale already. We've seen that several times already. So now you have in Chad a very technical, very wrestling-oriented opponent for Gunther, who he will put out amazing German suplexes on Gunther. It'll look great, but ultimately he'll fall short. And then you can also have Otis versus Gunther. You have the faction versus faction sort of a dynamic. We'll get to see more of Maxine. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, and I think they teased a bit of it. They had, I believe, Otis versus Ludwig Kaiser on Raw as well. So that's a fine secondary feud on that.
As long as we move away from Maxine versus the Sarah Logan, what's her name? Valhalla.
Valhalla and the Viking relationship. You're right.
What? Didn't they have a match and it was just it was a shit show.
Bro, that's like the Street Profits versus like Valhalla for like how many times, like lots of times already. Yeah. But okay, overall SummerSlam, I feel if I were to grade it, I would probably put it like a 6.5 to 7, to be honest.
I think a lot of the hype hurt the, I guess, perception of it because right, we expected so much more, right? I think I will be a little bit more generous. I'll give it a 7.5. But
okay.
Yeah, like the women's matches were terrible. The main event was a giant letdown. A lot of the matches felt not fresh. Funnily enough, Logan versus Ricochet felt like the most fresh match.
Yeah. Biggest takeaway from me is I concede that I think Jey Uso is not gonna be a top star. Cody Rhodes gotten the rub from Brock Lesnar. I think makes me appreciate, the fact that, Brock put him over. It almost feels like a swan song. It almost feels like, remember when The Rock lost to Brock Lesnar at the beginning? It's like a passing of the torch, and I think we will probably be seeing less of Brock, going forward.
I think so. I think Brock needs to take a bit of a break, and he probably has earned the break, right? Like he's put in quite a bit of work. So go back to his farm, go back to Sable. Do his farm boy stuff. He's very happy doing that. And, give us some time to miss him. Then he comes back in about a year.
I think Rishi brought up a great point. Tag team scene is dead already, bro. Like, we didn't even see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
And could you
well-
imagine that in the start of the year where Sami Zayn was the most over guy in
Exactly.
WWE?
Well, it doesn't help that don't they still have both the titles? So there are literally no titles. If they are not involved, there are no titles.
They have the title, but they have no challenges as well.
Right.
So,
well, maybe the Street Profits 2.0 will be, hopefully getting a bit of that, shine.
okay, I hope post SummerSlam, I think they bring back a couple more people back to relevancy, like maybe the Bobby Lashley's, Sami Zayn's,
It does
give
seem
them
like
back
they're
the rub, lah.
Yeah, it does seem like they are trying to set up new storylines and, different people come in. Like we talked about JD McDonough suddenly showing up. We got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits sort of making a splash. So yeah.
Yeah, going out of SummerSlam, are you more interested in what's going to happen with AEW because they got All In and All Out, or are you still
I'm
giving more hope to WWE? What's your thoughts?
I'm 100% giving more hope to WWE because I think that their stars have a much higher upside. Whereas on AEW, it's been disappointment after disappointment. It's like the potential of them disappointing is higher.
Okay.
And like we talked about, you look at the main event of All In right now. I mean, MJF versus Adam Cole. It's almost as bad as Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso.
I think both of us, right, we are the perfect snapshot of the kind of wrestling fan, right, that is out there, right?
Yeah.
We have somebody like you who is like, I would consider you somebody who's a casual. Like they need to work. They need to work hard to get you interested, right?
Yes.
And then there's someone like me who's more like, I just want wrestling to be good, know. And like I will try to justify why they do this, why they do that. But then deep in my heart, I know, alamak, come on, give me something to work with,
Yeah. And also it falls into like this whole area of what is your definition of good? Because let's face it, if you ask what is good to a Young Bucks fan, they'll tell you, being able to do a 630 off the top rope into the canyon, or doing some like friggin' ridiculous bullshit, right? It's all subjective at the end of the day, but we all know how that's going to work in the long run.
Yeah, I think what Ricochet and Logan Paul did, right, is show that if you want to have a high-flying match, but still have it make sense and still have a great crowd reaction, you can do it. You can do flippy shit in a great way.
Can I just give kudos to Ricochet? And this is probably something he learned in NXT.
Yeah.
He's selling after the big moves. After he does like, his 450 or his shooting star press when he hits, he actually that hurts. As opposed to if you ever watch Young Bucks, it's like they do like triple somersault, whatever, and then they stamp right back up. Oh, shit. Oh, look at me. Look at how cool I am.
Remember when Ospreay and Ricochet had that crazy flippy shit match? Everyone was shitting on it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trajectories of Ospreay and Ricochet since? Even though Ospreay is treated like a bigger star, Ricochet is lower down on the card, but I almost feel like Ricochet is like the better, more well-rounded wrestler now.
Oh yes, because he's learned to tell a story, and this is we've said this a billion times. Yeah, you can do the flippy shit, but your career is going to be so much shorter than if you just learn how to tell a story.
Yeah, so I think that's like the takeaway from today.
There you go. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Rishi asks, is WWE Superstar Spectacle a non-canon PLE? I mean, they will try to work in storylines. So this is the big PLE that they're doing in India, right?
Yep. And I believe it's happening right after Payback.
So I think
it's like September.
It's a glorified house show, but they're going to put on, I'm sure their government has probably spent money on it. Like,
you know that Jinder Mahal is going to be like a prominent part of the show for sure.
Jinder Mahal main event. Jinder, don't hinder the Jinder, bro. Jinder versus...
Veer, Shanky, all triple threat match. Let's go.
No, sekali Jinder versus Roman Reigns. Because Jinder will be the hero, ma.
Don't, they will probably do something. Bro, they will probably bring a special guest. Satnam Singh from AEW.
No lah. Wow, no. You know who's going to be there? The Great Kali.
Yes, he will definitely be there. I'm pretty sure he will be. Yeah, I think it's going to be a glorified house show lah. Unless something interesting happens that leads into it then.
Yeah, this we are not talking about Saudi level money. Saudi level money, then okay, they will have storylines, all that kind of stuff. But this one, I think it's like a tourism thing. They just pay them.
Probably it's the Puerto Rico vibes lah. Probably.
not even. I think it will be like slightly below.
Indian fans are crazy as well.
No,
right?
I'm not doubting the Indian fans and their passion for the business. I'm just saying, in terms of like, I don't think this will be as storyline, like I said, glorified house show. Like Puerto Rico was a proper PLA. This one, glorified house show.
Yeah, because they didn't even create, like, they created a name for the show,
Yeah.
Backlash was already an existing pay-per-view. I get what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Rishi says, Veer ends Roman Reigns.
No, come on.
Yeah,
No,
sure,
no,
bro.
just
Sure.
no.
Okay, that'll do it for us here today. Everybody, please enjoy your holiday tomorrow. It's National Day. Go and say the pledge 2 times today.
Say the pledge. I'll sing Majula in the shower later.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember, you must stand at attention and...
Something else will stand at attention.
No, bro. That's very disrespectful. Okay,
wait. Before we go off, I think we should tell the fans, I think ahead of time, that next week I'll actually be going for my reservice. I'll be away for 2 weeks, so there won't be any live shows for the next 2 weeks. But next week we do have something special ahead of it's SPW's Valor, right? That's happening.
SPW Valor, that's happening. So next week we will have a special interview show, a recorded interview show. So do join us here on the channel. Same time, that's when we'll release the video. Of course, all the information will be on our Discord and our social media channels lah.
Yeah, as well. And as well, the last 2 weekends, the last 2 weeks of August, there won't be a show put out. So we can't preview all in, but we will be back right in time to review it. So watch out for that.
It's okay, bro. I'm looking at the card right now. It looks like dog shit. So,
well, you say that as well.
Hey, you just watch, bro. You just watch. It's going to be a big fat disappointment.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're bored of like international wrestling, there's local wrestling coming up this month. So please go check out SPW Valor. Grapple Max just opened like a new facility as well, and you're gonna have like a debut event there as well as Grapple Max rolling. So exciting times as well for local fans.
Unfortunately, I will be in Malaysia that day. I'll be in JB that weekend, so I can't be there. But
bro, I'm in JB as well, bro.
What the hell? Okay lah.
I'll see whether I can make it. And that's the week I book out lah. So okay. We shall see.
But yeah, as always, we appreciate you joining us here on the show. Thank you very much. Please enjoy the rest of your day today, and of course, National Day is tomorrow. Majulah Singapura.
Yes, onward Singapore.
It's Mr. Young,
and it's for in the building. Take care.
Let me see you try.